That was Donald Trump on this day, July 16th, 6 years ago, 2018. Americans have very short attention spans. For all those saying that how strong Trump looks, that was as weak as a U.S. president has ever cowered for an adversary in this country's history. John Brennan, our intelligence official, said it was treasonous. John McCain said it was the most disgraceful thing he's seen from a president in recent memory. Republican Senator Corker said he looked like a pushover. Even Newt Gingrich said it was the most serious mistake of his presidency. Even Republican propaganda Drudge Report said he got dominated. Fox News even said it was the most incredible thing he had ever seen. At every point during Trump's presidency, he took Putin's word over U.S. military and intelligence. Never did he say anything bad about him, and he pretty much did everything he ever asked of him. Before the election, you all knew that, Trump's been over there since the 80s. They say Russia's been recruiting him. Don Jr. and Eric Trump both bragged about how much money they were making from Russia. Trump handpicked Paul Manafort to be his campaign manager. Manafort would later go on to be indicted for giving the Russians polling data. Trump would use some of the propaganda that the Russians were using online, and he basically blew off the seriousness of them getting on the Facebook and Cambridge Analytica and all that. When they came to visit the White House, he gave them classified intelligence. He weakened our relationship with our allies and NATO at his request. He didn't want to put sanctions on Russia, and when he did, he would quietly remove them, a month or two later. He thanked Putin for removing U.S. diplomats from Russia. He congratulated him on his election, said we were being too tough on Putin. He encouraged Europe to put Russia back in the G7. He pulled out of Syria at Putin's request, leading to the genocide of the Kurds. That Russia would go on to take over U.S. military bases. There's a video of them taking our flag down and putting the Russian flag up, if you want to see that. He said he wanted to do a cybersecurity program jointly with Russia, which makes absolutely no sense and sounds so shady. Ignored this bounty story of Putin putting bounties on U.S. soldiers. And one of the last things he did in office was pull 1/3 of U.S. troops we had in Germany out of there. So for anyone saying this is a strong leader, never in U.S. history has a U.S. president shined the shoes of an adversary the way Trump did Putin at Helsinki. And throughout his presidency and still to this day. And one of the reasons I think you hear MAGA all over social media saying there was no collusion. They just repeat this lie thousands of times over and over and over, and they believe it's true when it's clearly been proven. I think they lack the courage to admit that they've been grifted by Trump, that they've been grifted by Russian propaganda, that they themselves were reading this stuff on Facebook and Twitter and repeating it themselves, because it's made them a worse person, a more misinformed, more hateful against their own Americans. That's the whole goal of the Russian propaganda they were using, was to make this country more divisive. And it worked. And MAGA's not man enough. They don't have the courage to admit that they were wrong, that they shouldn't have been looking at this propaganda all the time. America's doing the same thing. MAGA has thousands of social media propagandists that they pay to be on social media. And that's what these people know. MAGA are the most willfully misinformed people on earth. Instead of reading or getting facts, they just sit there and watch stuff on social media and Fox News. So, and that's not even the worst thing about Trump. But to think he cares about this country when he's won't even take this country's word over his buddy Russia, this is not a strong man.